Hello everyone, this is Crimson. Today I'll be a book reader slash book club volunteer. A few months ago, I found myself volunteering in a book club, and if you already didn't know, I moved out of my hometown 10 months ago, moved into a new city that is about an hour or two away. I saw an ad about an upcoming session, and it wasn't until the third session that I was able to go in excitement and also in a little bit of anger, because how dare they have book club when I was no longer there? How dare they have materialized this book club that I've always yearned for? Anyway, it was one of those silent book clubs, so I was a little wary going into this because as someone who has been in the work from home setup and also haven't been out and about in a few months, I was really looking forward to interacting with a lot of people and just gushing out loud about the books that we have read and haven't read. As a former ENFP slash marketing girly and PR, I talked to a lot of people in this session. I don't think I even did the second reading sprint because I was too busy talking to someone about the Apothecary Diaries light novel and manga, and also Babel and Poppy War. The questions turned into, so what K-pop stan are you? It is really amazing to me to see the pipeline of readers that has so many other hobbies, and also having been a fan of certain TV series, anime, and K-pop. It is amazing. Astounding. At the end of the session, I felt very elated. I felt my body really satisfied with the activity that I have done. I also went into this session hormonally imbalanced, which meant that I was in my very highs. That also means that I'll talk way too much, way too fast, but that's okay because I was thanked by a lot of book readers at the end of the session. I didn't really wanted to say this out here because it feels like that's a very ego-headed statement, but I digress because they told me that in the past few sessions that they had, everything was just quiet. It literally was a silent book club, and when I talked with them and asked them about what they're reading and how they are and whatnot, I really looked forward to coming back because some of them said that if the book club wasn't gonna be that much fun, they would rather just read at home. I agree with what they say that book reading is a solitary activity, and even though it feels great to be able to read in an environment with a lot of book readers, it's always going to be the interactions within the group that we look forward to because it's sort of how we can reclaim a third space for us. It's also where we are able to meet people organically, which is something that's a unique experience now. The same week though, I went back for another session. Exciting, I know. That was also the time where I reached out to a person who built the reading club chapter and said, okay, let me chip in, volunteer into this, which I later suggested doing a 1-month celebration if that's something that they wanted, because I'm just really excited to have more book club sessions and also book related celebrations because that's not something that I experienced before. Okay, so this is where everything went downhill. The issue. Why did I do that? I think my friend was the person who said it best, that wherever there is people, there will be drama. And I forgot about that thing coming into this community. The event planning and the event in itself felt a little more like a job failed successfully. There were a lot of fun times, but as a volunteer, there are certain things that happened that is not very nice to feel at all. There are certain lapses. There are minor issues that had to be addressed immediately, and I would have loved to talk about that, make sure that it was addressed, make sure it's not going to happen anymore, but that did not happen at all. Some of the issues that I faced there was that there are certain readers or attendees that exude rude and inappropriate behaviors. There are minor issues with the loot bags that was being circulated for the event. Just needed to talk about that. But the lack of communication between the volunteers and enough time has passed that the whole thing just blew out of proportion, and the other volunteers did not want to bridge that gap or even talk at all. made every single thing hard. Throughout the space between having the event ended and the next few sessions, it was just strange to be kicked out in lump sum throughout the applications that I was part of. So it was a little bit weird to experience that. Honestly, it was just altogether disrespectful and also disappointing to be able to feel that way. But that's okay, I've made my peace with that. That's why I am able to talk about it now. But of course, there's a sense of guilt and loss because I participated in growing this community. I rooted for them, I've yearned for them, and now at the end that I have lost all of that. But of course, that is not the end of me. After the second session that I attended in my hometown book club, another book club materialized here, which made me excited so much more because I don't have to spend more money trying to travel an hour or two away just to get to a book club that is about 3 hours. I congratulated the book club and I reached out saying if they have any questions, feel free to let me know. And so in the same weekend, I was able to hang out with them and they posed a lot of questions, and honestly, it was really refreshing to be able to be with another group of people because they were mostly closer to age and also same wavelength, so it was just easy to be in camaraderie with this group of people. I know, so extra. At this time though, I was attending 2 book club sessions in a week. I was just fully decked. I was fully booked. I did not have any time to do any of my art. I didn't even have time to upload anything on YouTube, and I think it's for the best reason. I finally found something to keep me preoccupied, engage with other people, and gave me a sense of purpose, which is great. It's all good, right? Girl. The issue number 2. I keep doing this. At this point, I was already thinking, wait, this is becoming a pattern. Maybe I am actually the problem. The second book club felt like it had a second coming because at some point it just came to a halt. Everything was paused, and then later I got passed on the crown of continuing the said book club, and now I am one of the main volunteers. I won't get into the details of what happened or what issues came up with the second book club because frankly that's not my story to tell. At this point, I've been sending my friend a lot of voice notes and also FaceTiming her with what happened because it felt like in the last 3 weeks that I've been doing this, it's like a barrage of stimuli that is worth 3-4 years. So I was genuinely losing my mind. I think this time with the book club that I am in now, yes, it has continued. It has not been cancelled. Not yet. I don't know, let's not do that. But I think I've learned a lot more from the first book club and what happened in there. I felt a little bit more at ease. I felt really taken care of with the group of people that I'm volunteering with now. I have a blast hanging out with these people and talking about books, being able to borrow books from them, and having fun creating a space for other readers like us. So it just felt very natural for me, and it felt a little more comforting to be able to walk around and interact with other people without any type of pressure. I also had some of the readers from this club borrow books from me. I let them borrow Earthsea, the omnibus. It's the first 4 books in 1 book. I also have someone borrow a case study of Vanitas, all 3 of my volumes. And in return, I was also able to borrow books from other readers. I've finished reading Iron Widow, and currently I have 3 books that I'm currently reading. I have On Earth We Are Briefly Gorgeous. I have, Project Hail Mary and Bloodhaven. Something. I'll just put the photos in here somewhere. But yeah, it's really great. It's really nice. This experience, I think I had a moment where I said to myself, oh, this is what having a book club is for me. It's where all of my expectations about what a book club should be is being met, and it felt amazing. And there you go. Book clubs are not cozy at all, you guys. Aside from my own experiences, I have other people tell me other stories about their previous book club. They apparently have been migrating to other fresher, newer book clubs because there's also drama in their book clubs. So I think there's a story there. I think there's a pattern. I don't know. It shall be addressed at another time. But before I end this video, I would leave you with a little bit of tips, reminders, things to think about before you do your own book club or before you attend one. Number one is having a community does not mean that you have to be friends with everyone. Having friends through the book club is a nice thing, but it is not required. Number two is if a book club is gatekeeping the book club and they are being very picky about the type of books that you should read on their sessions or book club, that is a huge red flag. Read whatever you want and don't let anybody take away that freedom from you. Number three, attending a book club with fellow book readers where you feel a sense of home, a sense of comfort is not a go signal for you to trauma dump on these people. Please do not do this. These are people with certain boundaries and you should not go beyond that. Please be civil, okay? Please brush up on your social cues. Number four, the pipeline of book readers to having other hobbies is just imminent. So if you are a person going into a book club's activities and you have other purpose going in there, please do not hijack that club's activity to push your own agendas and your own hobbies. That is not nice. That is rude. That is annoying. That's it. I think that's all I have for you today. And thank you so much for staying at the end of the video. See you next time. Bye!